Many thanks for joining us on the newsroom. I am Fidelia Aguncha. The Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 has announced that states will be responsible for the implementation of the next phase of the eased lockdown to contain the COVID-19 pandemic. Chairman of the task force, Boss Mustafa, announced this after submitting recommendations on the gradual easing of the lockdown to President Muhammadu Buhari. He, however, said this will be done under national supervision and coordination. Mustafa also expressed concerns about the spike in community transmission, saying this might lead to an increase in the number of cases across the country.
You know, we were in the first phase. We had an extension of 2 weeks for the second phase. For the first phase. The next phase should be the second phase. And along with that, we came in with a lot of recommendations, which we expect Mr. President to consider. But I can assure you about one thing, that the ownership of the next phase will be the responsibility of the states under national supervision and coordination, because we have gone into community transmission. And where are the communities? The communities are in the states. So the ownership of the next phase will be that of the states, the local government, the traditional institutions, the religious leaders at the different levels of our communities, because that is where the problem is. Like we've kept saying, 20 local governments out of 774 account for 60% of confirmed cases in Nigeria today. So where are these 20 local governments? They are in communities. It means that we have reached the epitome of community transmission, and we must get the communities involved. There's a likelihood of the increase in transmission in cases, but that should not be a source of despair. Like we've always said, the experts will always tell you that over 80% will contact coronavirus and would not even notice that they have that. And that accounts for what is happening at the isolation centers when you see young men saying that I'm not sick, why am I being kept here? They are asymptomatic. They don't show symptoms. And they will wear it out, or spit it out. There is a 20% that is critical by virtue of certain factors, indices, age, underlying health conditions, and vulnerability. That's the percentage we are trying to protect. And if we don't do something in terms of management, in terms of putting in non-pharmaceutical interventions and guidelines to protect that 20%, about 5% of them can fall critically ill and eventually become fatalities in the numbers. And that's what we are trying to avoid. So everything that we are in place in is to ensure that we protect this vulnerable 20%.
The concerns raised by the Presidential Task Force is coming less than 24 hours after the Nigeria Center for Disease Control announced that more than 7,000 of Nigeria's total number of confirmed COVID-19 cases contracted the virus from unknown sources. As at Sunday midnight, Nigeria had 10,162 confirmed COVID-19 cases in 35 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory. Meanwhile, the country's fatality figure stands at 287, while the number of recoveries increased from 2,856 to 3,007. Yahaya Bello, governor of Kogi State, has locked down Kaba Bunu local government area of the state following the index cases of COVID-19 in the state. Ahmed Ejibunu, chief imam of Kaba, and one of his aides tested positive for the disease last week. The Kogi State government had rejected the result, accusing the Nigeria Center for Disease Control of perpetrating fraud. But in a statewide broadcast on Monday, Bello restricted movement in Kaba Bunu for 14 days. He also asked doctors who attended to the index cases to self-isolate. The Zamfara state government says it has discharged the last set of patients at its isolation center, making it COVID-19 free. The discharged patients, 5 in number, were discharged on Friday, May 29. Zamfara recorded its first COVID-19 case on April 24th, after which the number increased to 87 with the discovery of subsequent cases. A situation report from the NCDC for May 29 showed that of the 87 cases, a total of 71 patients recovered after treatment, while 5 fatalities were recorded. The development makes Zamfara the second state after Kebbi to have no active COVID-19 cases as of May 2020. Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan and his family have tested positive for coronavirus. The Prime Minister, in a video posted on his Facebook page, said he had no visible symptom of the virus and would be working from home. The ex-Soviet Republic of some 3 million have so far reported 9,492 cases of COVID-19 and 139 deaths. Coronavirus patients have overwhelmed Armenia's hospital, and last week health officials said that intensive care treatment could soon be restricted to patients with the best chance of survival. Pashinyan's announcement came nearly 1 month after Armenia on May 4th lifted a state of emergency imposed in March to slow down the spread of the coronavirus. We'll take a break here to bring you more stories from the local scene. Don't go away. Welcome back. Now to politics. Some governors elected on the platform of the All Progressives Congress APC have met with the party's national leader, Bola Tinubu. This comes as part of efforts to douse a crisis in Edo State chapter of the party ahead of the forthcoming governorship election in the state. The APC in Edo had been split since the disagreements arising from the absence of some lawmakers at the inauguration of the State House of Assembly, with a group loyal to the APC National Chairman Adams Oshomole and the other led by the incumbent Governor Godwin Obaseki. In a bid to resolve the dispute between the two groups, the chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, Atiku Bagudu, led Governor Obaseki and 6 other governors to seek Tinubu's intervention in the matter. The governors who attended the meeting, which held on Sunday in Lagos, included Rotimi Akeredolu from Ondo State, Mohammed Abubakar of Jigawa State, Bajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State, Alhaji Ganduje of Kano State, Abdullahi Ganduje of Kano State, Dakpo Abiodun of Ogun State, and Adigboyega Oyetola of Osun State. Well, still in Edo State, Governor Godwin Obaseki has ordered an investigation into the death of Vera Uwaila Omozua, a 100-level microbiology student of the University of Benin in the state. Omozua reportedly died after she was raped and her head smashed with a fire extinguisher inside a church in the state capital. She was said to have gone into the place of worship to read in preparation for the resumption of school. In a statement, Crusoe Osage, special advisor to the governor on media and communication strategy, said Obaseki has ordered the police and other security agencies to fish out the culprits and bring them to justice. He said the state government would ensure that the law run its course and the Violence Against Persons law and other laws related to rape and sexual abuse are exploited to get justice for the deceased. And to business matters, the Petroleum Product Pricing Regulatory Agency, PPPRA, has reduced the retail pump price of petrol from 121 naira 50 kobo per litre to 121 naira 50 kobo per litre from the present 123 naira 50 kobo. The regulatory agency announced a new retail price band to marketers in a May 31 circular on Monday. According to the memo, marketers are expected to sell petrol between a price band of 121.50 and 123.50 kobo. It said, quote, after a review of prevailing market fundamentals in the month of May and considering marketers' realistic operating costs as much as practicable, we wish to advise of a new PMS guiding pump price with corresponding ex-depot price for the month of June 2020 as follows. Price band 121 naira 50 kobo to 123 naira 50 kobo per litre. And on the foreign scene, violence has erupted in major cities across the United States on the 6th night of protests, sparked by the death of George Floyd, an unarmed black man who died in police custody in Minneapolis. No fewer than 40 cities have imposed curfews, and National Guard members have been activated in 15 states and Washington, D.C. Police in Washington, D.C. fired tear gas at demonstrators who set fire to properties near the White House, including a historic church known as the Church of the Presidents near the White House. One former officer who was seen with his knee on Floyd's neck was charged with third-degree murder and manslaughter, but protesters say the charge isn't harsh enough and are demanding charges for the other officers involved. And to sport, Manchester United have confirmed an extension to Odion Ighalo's loan deal, which will see him stay at the club until January 2021. The striker arrived from Chinese Super League club Shanghai Shenhua on a temporary loan deal in January to provide Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with cover for the injured Marcus Rashford. United have already had to pay Shenhua a loan fee for the initial 5-month spell, and it is understood the Chinese side will receive another payment from the Red Devils for the extended period. While there have been no discussion to keep Ighalo at the club on a permanent basis, Solskjaer has been keen from the start to have him in his squad for the end of the season. And that's the latest from the newsroom. Many thanks for joining us. Bye for now.